Hey guys, Pastor Dan here. It's Men to Men. We're back out at the workshop and we're going to be keeping talking. We had a week off. Now I gotta say thank you for that. It was really great to connect with friends and family and to have a downtime, which I think we all need. It's been a hard season, so to be able to take a little bit of vacation time with the family has been amazing. We're back at it now. If you remember, in the last episode, episode 13, I talked a little bit about calling out, but I want to change that a little bit. I want to talk about calling up. In the big leagues, in baseball, there is a thing called getting called up. That means you're ready for the big show. But there's a lot of training. Now you think about it, these guys have been playing since they're little boys. And then they get older and they progress to the next league. Then they get older, they progress to the next league. And then they progress to the next league. And by the time they're in their 20s, they are hitting what should be their peak. And they may be able to sustain that for a little while and play in the big show, the big leagues. Now, if we're going to stick with that analogy here, the called up, that's what I want to do with you. These guys who get called up, they're given tons of training, they're given tons of resources, they're given tons of structure, and they're given tons of coaching. And then they serve a common purpose. So that's what you and I are going to talk about today, serving that common purpose. Now we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. We're going to be looking at Galatians chapter 5, and specifically verses 22 through 26. Now as we do this, this is going to be your call up. I'm calling you up, and I'm going to come with you. We're going to work side by side with our band of brothers, and we're going to make this work. Guys at Temple Baptist, are you ready for this? Men to Men, we're on it. We're going to bring you a little bit more information as the days progress, but here's the first bite. So how many of you guys can identify with this? You decide, I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to go for what I believe in. I'm going to live strong. I'm going to go for it. But then we face a little bit of resistance. And then we feel frustrated. And then our resolve starts to fizzle. And then we feel failure. And as that failure continues, then we just decide we settle. Now, in the previous episode, I mentioned to you about we all settle, especially as men in our faith. Now, I don't think that's right. I think we can do better than that. But I also think we can't do it alone. We need our band of brothers. We need to do this together. Now, there's a guy named Ken Shigematsu, and he wrote very recently a devotional based on his book for Promise Keepers Canada. And in that devotional, part of what he mentioned was he discovered some of his ancestry. He was actually from the family of some samurai. Now that sounds kind of cool, but then as he dug in deeper, he discovered what the culture of that samurai was. And there was a bunch of things he really did not appreciate, but there were some things that just really resonated strongly within him. And as I read that same devotional, it resonated with me too. Their sense of honor, their sense of duty, an almost fanatical dedication and discipline. That's something that they put into action daily. They were honored in their communities because they served their communities. Now, there was a deep cost for that because they served with a blade. I'm not talking about serving with a blade. I'm actually talking about serving with love and care and devotion and dedication. And we need to be called up to do this together. Now, these samurai were dedicated to their Lord. Now, their Lord was just a man. Our Lord was a man who is God. Jesus is Lord, and we want to serve him as King. How can we do that together? We're going to be beginning to look at some different ideas here. We're going to do what I'm calling basic training. We're going to look at three elements. We're going to look at the Word, we're going to look at prayer, and we're going to look at fellowship. And what do those three things mean? Then we're going to go into beyond, after basic training, we're going to go into special ops. Now, special ops is going to be that thing where you and I, we gather with our team, our band of brothers, and we get serious. We have a mission. We have an objective, and we're going to do what we can to train, to get ready, and to accomplish that objective. But we need to know what it is. What are the things that tool us up for that mission and objective? We're going to work together on that. This has been Men to Men. I'm all in. I'm Dan.